Hi, my name is Karen, and I'd like to lead you in a little Pilates workout. I just wanted to say to everybody, I just miss you so much. Miss coming in. We'll be hopefully out of this sooner rather than later, and I can't wait to see you all again. For Pilates, usually there's music going in the background, but since we've been having a little bit of trouble getting those videos up, I just figured that I would lead you in a Pilates workout today, and then you could put on your own music in the background. So I hope that works. With Pilates, you need 3 things to create a brace, and then all of the exercises are to challenge that brace. So we're gonna talk about those 3 things. You need to pull up your pelvic floor, so that those are the muscles you'd use to stop urination. You want to pull in your abdominal wall, and then the last bit is rib cage in and down. So here the chest is lifted, but not lifted so much that it opens up the rib cage. You'll notice that I exhaled on bringing that rib cage in and down, so that I could have the lungs empty and the rib cage could come in and down easily. So you do want to be exhaling on the hardest part of your Pilates exercise. So let's get started. We're going to just start with something very simple to create that challenge. You can leave your legs crossed if you want to, or you can extend them out in front of you. We want to lift with best posture, top of the head toward the ceiling. Brace on, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. We'll start a simple challenge to keeping that rib cage in and down by bringing the arms up. And then we're just going to bring the arms back down. You want to use the range of motion here that's available to you so that you can keep that brace on. Beautiful. Exhale here and inhale. Let's do 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and roll down here. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. So we're starting with the lifted portion, and then we're going to round our back out and roll the pelvis back. We're going to take control over this laying down. We're going to go 5 more, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now let's bring our knees up over the chest, and as you bring your knees over the chest, you might notice that your low back is pushing to the floor. So let's get our brace on here, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down, and then we're going to move our knees away from us until we feel the low back, the curve of the low back coming back. Now, you'll work a little harder if you lengthen the lever. So if we bring our feet up here, then it becomes a little bit harder, but you can always keep your feet down here. So whether your feet are here or down closer toward your butt, what we're going to do here is we're just going to extend that right leg out. Hold the left leg in place. Use your brace to stabilize your hips. We don't want the hips flapping around. Beautiful. Let's do 4 more. Exhale and inhale. 3. You got it. 2. And 1. Fantastic. Quick break. We'll just bring those knees into the chest, roll out the low back. Then let's reset our brace, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. We'll move the legs away from us, knees right over the hips or further out for the challenge. And then we'll do the same on the left side. We're going 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice job. Last one right here, and then knees to chest. Now, anytime that you're reclined on the floor and you want to make the exercise a little harder, what you can do is lift up your head. You can move toward getting your shoulder blades off the floor, or you can let the bottom of the shoulder blades touch. But anytime that you're lifting your head, you're going to increase the work in the core exercises. Range of motion also makes a difference. So if you were working here and you just wanted to come out a little bit, you could, or you could come out a little further. So range of motion makes a difference. And also lever length. The longer the lever is, the longer the legs are, the longer the arms are, the harder the exercise will be. And then also your base of support. So if I bring my arms wide to the side, then that will make the exercise easier because it'll be easier to balance. So we'll work with some of those variables as we come through these exercises. Let's bring our knees over our chest or over our hips here, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. We're going to let the feet drop down. We're going to put that brace on. So want to make sure that we're using our brace to help stabilize our hips. And then let's circle the knees in the air for 10, 9. Slow and controlled here. Arms wide if you need a better base of support. Arms in if you need, or if you want to work a little harder. Lift your head if you want to work harder still. We're going to do 5 more, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Give the knees a hug into the chest. Quick break, and then we'll just go right to the other side. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. Bringing the knees into position, and let's circle in the opposite way. It's 10, and 9, 8. I hope you picked some good music to do this to. 7, something that makes you happy. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Knees to chest. All right, so we're going to roll over onto our sides. We'll extend the bottom arm here and make a nice straight line. As I'm making this straight line, if I do not have my brace on, then my body bows right here. So one of the things that you can do is lift up here and pull that shoulder down so that you're aligning the shoulders one on top of the other. And then take your top leg and reach it away from you so that the hips stack one on top of the other. Then you'll start to create space here at the waistband. So we don't want this part of our side body on the mat. We want to keep it up and active, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. So let's just do a challenge here. We're going to extend that top leg away from us, and we're going to take the top arm and reach it up toward the ceiling. We're going to use our brace to minimize the wobble. So already right here you might feel a little bit wobbly. So we're going to use that brace to sort of stabilize ourselves. And then we'll take that top arm and we'll just bring it level with the floor, and then we'll bring it right back up. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. So really pull that belly button in toward your spine. Nice job. We have 6 more. Stabilizing hips and shoulders. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. So that wasn't too bad because the arm is not that heavy and it's not as long as the leg. But if we bring our leg out in front, then that's going to really try to destabilize the hips. So what we're going to do is bend the bottom leg so that we have some front to back stabilization here, having our base of support a little bit stronger. So we've got the side body up here. You can put your hand on the floor if you want to for stabilization, or you can bring it up here. Then we're going to take that long top leg and we're going to extend it in front. Try not to rock your hips back, and then bring the leg back. Let's go 9 more. Another thing that you might want to do is leave your hand on your hip. That sometimes gives you an idea of whether your hips are wobbling around here. 5, beautiful. 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh, so good. All right, so let's flip over to our other side and do the same thing on the other side. Let's see if I can move my mat over a bit. All right, so starting on our sides, again, lifting up here and making sure the shoulders are stacked and the hips are stacked, creating that side body, the space between the side body and the floor. Arm is extended, and we're going to bring that arm up in front. Our top leg is extended, reaching through the heel with some power here. Now, if you find yourself too wobbly in this position, you certainly can bend that bottom leg a little bit to help stabilize, give yourself a bigger base of support. And then from here, arm in front for 10. Beautiful. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. Trying to work with the balance. If it doesn't work to keep that top leg floating, then you can go ahead and bring it down. Maybe that'll make you feel a little bit more stable. 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. All right, bottom leg's going to bend a little bit for stabilization. Again, we're reaching through that top leg, push through the heel. We're lifting side body, keeping that side body up off the floor. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. Let's bring that leg in front for 10. So hand can be here for stabilization. It can be here to monitor the hip wobble, or it can reach up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Let's bring that leg down, and we're going to go ahead and push ourselves up to a seated position again. We'll extend our legs out in front of us, and we're going to push through the heels and lift the top of the head up. So we want to make sure that we're tucking that low back under, getting best posture, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. Now, let's take a big exhale and just release the legs. We don't want them to do any work here. So we want the work to be from the hips up, lifting up here nice and tall. We're going to bring the arms out to the side here, and I like to turn my palms up, and I'll show you why. If you let your palms turn down, the shoulder tends to roll forward, but when you turn your palm up, you'll roll the shoulder back and down. It's easier to have a lifted chest and better posture. So that's why I like to turn my hands up. So extending the legs here, relaxing through the legs, nice and tall. We're going to turn. So big inhale, and then with the exhalation, turn your chest to the side. Finish your exhalation, and then inhale to center. Beautiful. Try not to create any tension in your legs. So as we do this, we want to keep concentrating on releasing the tension in our legs. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to flip around here. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Head and shoulders aligned right over the hips. We'll rotate the palms up so the shoulders can be back and down here. Relax through the legs, rotate. Exhale. Inhale. Seven more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, and last one. Excellent. All right, we're going to tuck our legs up now, put our feet on the floor or on our mats, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. Sometimes it helps to move the extra flesh out of the way. We're going to sit up tall here, and then we're going to stay hanging on. So nice and tall here. Think about lifting the top of the head up away from the hips, and then we're going to recline just a little bit. So not too much work here, right? Oh, you'll see. So we're going to go hold a 10 here. So it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go a little bit more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go the length of our arms, but not rounding out the back. Keep the back nice and straight. Hold in here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. All right, so that just gives you an idea of how hard you can make the exercise by leaning back further and further. You also can continue to hang on, or you can let go. So again, I'm going to turn my palms up so that my shoulders can come back and down. Best posture, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. Moving back 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just a little more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. So that makes it more challenging if we're not hanging on. Now, if we added some movement to that, that would make it even more challenging. So I'm going to turn around to the other way so I don't get a crick in my neck, and we'll work on that with some movement. So again, you can hang on for this if you want to, or you can let go. We're going to sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the core muscles engaged, get that brace on. Lean back a little or a lot. And again, you can hold on if you want to. We're going to alternate an arm lift. So it's 10, 9, 8. Keep that rib cage in and down. 7, 6, you do not have to hang on, that becomes more challenging. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, come on up. We can also move through the legs here, so let's work with that. One more count of 10. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. Best posture, leaning here. Alternate a foot lift. So it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep that best posture. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, fantastic. All right, let's get to reclining again. So we're going to do a controlled recline again. We're going to take our time and make sure that we are controlling through the core. our recline. So pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage, arms reached out here. We're going to round the back and slowly bring ourselves down. Let's go 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We'll invite our knees up toward our chest here, and then let's extend the legs up toward the ceiling. We do want to keep as much of a neutral spine as possible here, but if your hams are tight, it's hard to get the feet up over the hips. So one of the things you can do is just take the bottom of your mat and roll it up a couple times or stack it up a couple times and put your seat up on your mat. And then with the seat lifted, it might be easier to bring the legs over the hips. Another thing that you can do is just bring your hands to a stack here and stack them under your hips to make it work for you. So we're going to extend the legs out here, right over the hips, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. Arms can go wide to stabilize here. We're going to hold the left leg, well, let's just say one leg, you can pick which one. We're going to hold one leg up toward the ceiling and the other leg is going to come wide to the side. Use whatever range of motion is available to you and squeeze up. So as you bring your leg wide to the side, I want you to keep an eye on the leg that is not moving, because what tends to happen is as this leg comes wide to the side, this leg sometimes either comes over with it or it comes wide to the other side to stabilize. We want to try to keep this leg in place and use the core muscles to stabilize the hips so that they don't tip. Beautiful. Let's go 6 more. 6 and 5. 4. How you doing? 3. 2. 1 more. Fantastic. Let's bring the knees to the chest. Take a moment and rock out a little bit. And then we'll just do the same on the other side. So arms wide, legs extended, keeping an eye on that leg that's not moving. Take the other leg and bring it wide to the side, whatever range of motion is available to you. 9. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. 8. Using that brace to stabilize the hips. 7. You got it. 6. 5. 4. 3 more. 2. Last one. Fantastic. Let's bend those knees. We're going to bring the knees over the chest, and then we're going to move into the 100. So I'll take you through the 100, starting with what's the easiest way to do it, and then we'll build up to a little harder. And then you can always get started with it, and then you can decide if you need to back off or if you need to make it harder. So one of the things that you can do to start the 100 is to keep the feet flat on the floor. So this helps ease the core work because the feet are on the floor and the core isn't holding up those legs. So you can start with your feet on the floor. And what we're going to be doing with the 100 is we're going to be bouncing the hands 5 times while we inhale, and then 5 more times while we exhale. And then 5 plus 5 is 10. We'll do 10 rounds. That's our 100. So feet on the floor or up. Head on the floor or up. Legs bent or extended. Legs up toward the ceiling, or anywhere in the range of motion to bring them down here. Now, what I caution you about is if you're extending your legs out here and you're ending up with a big gap in the low back, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your low back, and that's really no good for it. So you want to choose a position that you're working in
where you can hold that position and hold the back or hold the spine in a neutral spine position. So we don't want that big arch in the low back. We want to be able to keep neutral here, or if your back is a little sore, you can push down with the low back into the floor just a little bit. So set yourself up. You're going to look up toward the ceiling after you get the gist of the exercise. Then look up toward the ceiling, because the rotated head here while we're trying to work might not be so good for your neck. So we're going to leave the hands next to the body, lift the head, bring the legs into the position that we choose, pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. Let's bounce the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In and out. In and out. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're halfway. And out. In and out. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2 more. And out. Last one. And out. Nice job. Knees to chest. Good job, good job. All right, let's go ahead and get back on our sides. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage, shoulder stacked, hips stacked. We're going to bend the bottom leg to help create a little bigger base of support. We still want the hips to stay stacked, so take care that this is not happening. Want to keep that hip stacked right over the other hip. Reach out through this leg and make it active. Point your toe if you can, so that you can reach through all the way through the toe, from the hip through the toe. If you're finding that you're getting foot cramps, then go ahead and just bend the leg and reach out, or bend the ankle and reach out through the heel. So we're going to do some leg circles here. Again, you're going to use the range of motion that's available to you so that you can keep form. So you want to keep those hips stacked here. Let's bring the leg up, back, and around to start. So front up, back around to start. Beautiful. 7 and 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's just bring that knee in, stretch out the hip, and then we're going to come right back to it, and we're just going to go the opposite direction. So we started out coming round front, and now we're going to come round back. So let's extend the leg out again. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage, stabilizing the hips. Make sure that you're taking out that wobble, around back and to the front. It's 10, 9, 8, 7. Make sure you still have space here between the floor and your side body. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Let's invite that leg up again. Stretch out that hip. All right, we're going to extend the leg now all the way back out again and put the foot on the floor. The bottom leg's bent, and we're going to come up to a modified side plank. So we'll take the top hand and we'll lift up here. We're going to bring the elbow right below the shoulder. Now, my elbow's below my shoulder right now, but when I lift my hip, sometimes you'll push yourself over a little bit more. You want to make sure that you can keep your elbow over your shoulder. So check it here and then check it when you get back into position. So since we're going with modified, we're going to keep that bottom leg bent, and pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. We're going to lift the hips up here. So I'm on the side of my leg, making a straight line through this top body here, reaching the top arm toward the ceiling. And again, trying to make sure my shoulder is right over my elbow as I hold this position. we're going to go 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So let's just sit down into this. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to do that again, and we're going to add movement. You can either move your arm, which will help destabilize you, or you can move your leg, which again will help destabilize you. So pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. We're coming back up onto our side here. So the arm movement would be to the front and up. The leg movement would be a lift and lower. So you pick which one. I don't think you should do both. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, you could. I guess you could. So making sure though that you can hold that position, hold that neutral spine. So here we go. It's 10 and 9, 8 and 7. Beautiful. 6. You got this. 5. If you need a break though, go ahead and take it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, so good. So let's do those exercises on the other side. So you can walk out of your living room even. So we're going to go all the way to the recline again. Stack the shoulders, bend the bottom leg so that we can circle this foot. Make sure the hips are stacked. Keep the space between side body and the floor. We're going to extend the leg, pushing through the toes. Oops, I'm kicking the wall, sorry. Extend the leg, pushing through the toes here. So we'll come round front first for 10, 9. Use your brace to stabilize your hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Let's invite the knee up. We'll just stretch out that hip a little bit, and then we'll come back and do the circle in the opposite direction. Doing okay? Me too. Let's go ahead and extend that leg out. We're going to wrap around behind, up, and then around front for 10, 9, 8, stabilizing hips, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to come up to those side planks. Remember, we're doing 2. First one stable, and the second one we're going to add movement. So modified, if you want to, bend that bottom leg. We're going to lift up here. Again, staying on the side of the knee. Want to make sure the shoulder's right over the elbow, holding this position. Beautiful. We're going to hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's sit down into it. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll add that movement. And again, the movement can be with the arm, just to try to destabilize, or you can lift lower the leg. You can choose which one. Are you ready? Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. Let's bring ourselves up to the side plank and then add the movement for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Come on down. Let's push ourselves up to a seated position. How you feeling? Okay? All right. Oh, let's go ahead and come on to all fours. So I think I'll face you for this.
for now. So what we want to do when we're on all fours is to bring the heels of the hands right under the shoulders and the knees right under the rib cage. I'm on a carpeted floor here with a pad under it, so this is a little rough on the wrists. If you can get to a hard surface with your hands, I would definitely recommend that. So what we're going to try to do here is, without shifting to the right, let's extend our left legs out. Then we're going to extend the right arm up front, and we're going to hold here or pulse up for 10, 9, 8. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage in and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Hand down, knee down. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So without shifting toward the left, extend the right leg, extend the left arm, reach out through the leg, try not to lift the hip, pulse or hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Hand down and knee down. All right, so let's go ahead and come back to our recline. We've got a couple more exercises and then we'll go ahead and stretch. So the exercises I want to work on here were single leg stretch and then double leg stretch. So our single leg stretch, we're on our backs. You have the option of lifting your head or not. And then you're going to bring your legs to wherever you want to work here. Some of you are familiar with, I've said this before, if I bring this knee up and I extend, I get a pop in this hip, in my left hip, and I don't want that to keep happening. So I'm going to keep my legs a little bit away from me and work in this range of motion here instead of bringing the opposite leg all the way in. You can join me with that. It does make the exercise a little bit harder, but if you need to make it a little easier and you need that counterbalance for the legs, then you can go ahead and bring that knee up over the torso here. So pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage, head up or not. And then let's just switch the legs here. For 20 and 19, you can bring them up to the ceiling. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. You got it. 10, 9, 8. Neutral spine. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to chest. Beautiful. Big inhale here. So that was single leg stretch. That means one leg was coming out at a time. We're going to try double leg stretch, and what that is both legs are going to shoot out at the same time. Now, the legs are heavy, and if you're bringing both of them out at the same time, you really have to make sure that you're keeping that spine in a neutral position. So we don't want to curve with the spine or let that spine flop around. So use your brace to hold that. A good way to adjust that then is either lever length, so you wouldn't shoot out all the way, or range of motion, so you can shoot the legs out all the way, but more on an angle toward the ceiling where you can manage. So again, use the range of motion that you're working, that you like the amount of work that you're doing, and that you can hold the form, okay? So optional head up and optional bringing the arms up. So again, we remember from the very first thing that we did is as we bring the arms up, it challenges us to keep the rib cage in and down. So that's an option to add. Here we go. It's 10 and 9, 8, you've got it, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
and 1. Beautiful. Knees to chest. All right, let's come on up, and we're going to do one more exercise because we didn't do any planks, and I know how you love the planks. So let's roll over onto our abdominals. We're going to bring the elbows to the floor here, and then we're going to straighten out the legs, push the shoulders away from the ears, get your brace on, holding here for 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Nice. All right, so we'll do one more plank, and let's add some movement. So if you want to, you can just turn your head from side to side, and turning our head just helps to destabilize our bodies a little bit. Another thing that you can do if you want to is tap your hips down. If that plank wasn't working for you, or you need to be a little bit easier, you can just keep your knees down, push your shoulders away from your ears, and hold that brace. So that can make it a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and add either a head turn or a hip dip. Pelvic floor, abdominal wall, rib cage. Push the shoulders away from the ears. Let's lift it up here. We're going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. All right, let's stretch and then we'll get out of here. We're gonna go ahead and have a seat. And if you're comfortable with your legs crossed, cross them. If you would rather keep them out in front of you, go ahead and do that. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. Take your left hand and bring it to your right knee. Rotate the shoulders and look over your shoulders toward the room behind you. Nice stretch for the obliques here. Getting that good rotation in. Big deep breaths here. Let's come to center. We'll reset by rolling the shoulders back and down, and then come to the other side. Rotate the shoulders. Again, looking behind you. Big deep breaths. Let's come to center. We're going to bring the hands together, elbows together here. We're going to drop the elbows into our lap, so that rounds our backs for us. If you can, you might drop the elbows toward the floor, and then go ahead and drop your chin, drop the top of your head toward the ceiling, so the back can be nice and rounded. Getting into the hips a little bit here also. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's come all the way up. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to put our hands behind us. You can stay on tabletop on your fingertips if this stresses out your wrists, or you can put your hands flat. We're going to bring the hands behind us, and we're going to gradually lift the chest while we squeeze the shoulder blades together behind us. Now take a moment, stop looking at me, and turn your gaze up toward the ceiling, lifting your chin and chest and stretching through front body here. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's sit ourselves up. Miss you, love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.